Hey guys, my name is Miska and welcome to Overwatch Central. The Overwatch workshop has been fantastic lately and I really enjoy looking at new things that are being added to the workshop every single day. You've already seen maybe 2 or even 3 workshop videos from this channel just covering new modes and such, but they wouldn't really be as interesting to watch if I just made them all the time. Because of that, we are instead taking a look at what should be, in my opinion, the next thing that the Overwatch team should set their sights on, and that is Overwatch competitive. We've talked a lot about it over the years on this channel, and rather than going into exact specifics about changes we want to see and that stuff, I want to highlight a couple things that I think contribute towards the entire competitive problem. Just today actually, on my primarily support account, I actually played 10 games in a row for my placements just to see what competitors really like, and you might be like, why would you do that? That's horrible. Why would you put yourself through that? That's honestly a fairly common reaction to just saying that I'm playing Overwatch now. And I did that today to make sure I had more of a fresher idea of the current competitive experience. And that's part of the first thing on my list, and that's the fact that Overwatch has been around for a long time now and things have changed over these 3 years nearly. And early on, talking about competitive play was such just a centerpiece to the entire Overwatch discussion. Everything from how competitive worked initially to just getting access to the beta so you could begin competing in Overwatch. Following that, we had many changes in the early seasons, but now it's all kind of come to a standstill. The first thing I want to really put the spotlight on here are the developer updates. Early days we had developer updates that would kind of just be checking in on the general situation of Overwatch. We don't have that anymore. They don't happen. Most of the developer updates that are made right now are around hero releases or map releases or things like that, and we don't really get a lot of sort of insight into developer comments. Now, this might be because, working on things internally and they don't really want to set anything in stone, but even then, that removes that central place for everyone to discuss Overwatch competitive. The secondary place to discuss Overwatch competitive are most of the time online and especially on the forums. Now, the Overwatch forums get used to a very varying degree. Sometimes the developers are very active on there, but it's usually to the point where you have to go to the entire forum and sort by the dev tracker to see their posts on there rather than check specifically for a competitive discussion. That's also because if you go to the competitive discussion board and you check the actual dev tracker on there, you'll see that there are barely any posts from developers in the competitive discussion board. This is the outlet that Blizzard have created to talk about competitive, yet the first post here is 2 days ago, season 16, okay, cool. We get a bit of an update from Scott Mercer. The one before that is September 1st, 2018, increasing avoid as teammate limit, and then the one before that is July 31st, 2018, multiple people complaining about server disconnects, and then the one before that is May 22nd, 2018, Rialto now in competitive play. So if you go down just 4 posts, you're pretty much gone a full year of competitive discussion from Blizzard on their own main channel for this discussion. What's up with that? Were people talking about fixing competitive in the same way they are today back in 2018? Definitely. They for sure were. We've all been talking about this for a long time. So that's the first one, the communication channel. It's been very unclear. The second thing I want to talk about is how to fix Overwatch competitive. The number one comment I see on this channel on all of our videos is, oh, okay, that's great, but Blizzard, can you please fix comp? I see this all the time. Every single day I see this comment. And it makes sense. I get the frustration. Honestly, I'm with you in the way that I want to see a refreshing competitive experience that's less frustrating and just more fun. But defining this more is pretty interesting to me. I don't want to go into absolute specifics this video, but to talk about this, I obviously have to bring up some things that are on the agenda or on the table here, as otherwise it'd be impossible to have the discussion. This is when I want to go back to Slasher actually on Twitter. Just a few days ago we had that season 16 competitive change that he tweeted about, and he said that potentially more things on his list of changing Overwatch competitive would be coming according to some of his sources. And I feel like the developer announcement and discussion has been leaning more and more towards this. What to do with competitive, what to do with role queue, the 222 lock, all of that stuff. So let's take a look at some things that Slasher tweeted out to try and sort of fix competitive just earlier this year actually, and I agree with a lot of this, which is why I wanted to bring up this list in particular. We've talked about match history and replays more. We've talked about changing 2CP or assault. There have been many suggestions on overhauling that, and a lot of people obviously just want it removed, but either way that's been a discussion point as well. we've had the scoreboard talk a lot, providing players with more stats during the game. Another great point to bring up that I think is really worth highlighting. There have been mentions of pure solo queue as well, but most primarily, of course, the 2-2-2 role queue. I'm pretty lucky to have a platform within the Overwatch community for discussion and also just sharing my view and my opinion of various Overwatch things, and that's why I wanted to use this video to try and do that again. Please do share in whatever way you feel like is the best, but potentially even just a comment on this video, with maybe just 2 or 3 sentences explaining what you would really like to see in Overwatch competitive specifically, or even just how you feel about it right now. What would you like to see implemented? Why would you like to see that implemented? Or even just how would you like to see something in particular implemented? If we all share that between us and you scroll through and actually thumb up things you think are really good suggestions, hopefully that can once again focus the entire discussion on Overwatch competitive and have that move more to how to fix Overwatch competitive rather than just fix comp. I want to do this to get a good community idea of how people view Overwatch competitive right now, both because it's interesting for me and I think for everyone here to have yet another platform to actually discuss this and just highlight how important it is, but also because sometimes Ryan and I get opportunities to talk to people from the Overwatch team, and if we do get one of those in the near future, we would love to bring up stuff that you guys have mentioned as well, because that's ultimately what Overwatch is kind of all about. With those 2 things out of the way though, I hope this video could kind of serve as reminding you of 2-2-2, role queue, and that entire discussion. And don't get me wrong, I love the workshop, I've had a lot of fun with it, I'm gonna keep making videos highlighting workshop things, but Overwatch needs more than a mode for the community to play around and make up for what the developer haven't done to the game. Alright, that's everything for this video. I'm sorry about the sort of more serious tone for this, but I think it's the only way to approach it. I hope you enjoyed. That's all for now. Thank you very much for watching, take care, and I'll see you guys next time.